Most of the time, advertising feels like you're just renting an audience from some giant platform, right? But what if you could actually own a piece of the advertising world itself? Well, today we're going to dive into a pretty unique community-based platform that's trying to do exactly that. And that really brings us to the core question here. What if your advertising could be more than just an expense? What if it could be an actual asset? It's a really powerful idea, shifting advertising from just a bill you have to pay into an investment in a community that you're actively helping to build. This is the whole foundation of what we're looking at today. So the big idea is to create a promotional environment that pretty much sustains itself. Instead of paying some third-party giant for access to their audience, this system is all about creating and being part of an ecosystem where you're a co-owner and you get to benefit directly as it grows. So what do we really mean by an advertising ecosystem? Well, think of it like a closed-loop system. You're the advertiser, right? You're promoting your own website or offer, but you're also the audience. This dual role is what creates this really unique, engaged community where everybody's participation literally fuels the entire system's value. Okay, so how does this whole engine actually run? It's all powered by a two-sided model where every single user is playing two very different but equally important roles. Let's break that down. This here shows you exactly how that dual identity works. On one side, you're the advertiser. You put your website in to get exposure, build your brand, whatever your goal is. But on the other side, you're also a participant. And by viewing a certain number of community ads every day, in this case just 15, you're providing the very engagement that gives the whole platform its value. See? One role just can't exist without the other. All right, so you get the two-sided model. It makes sense. But how do you control the value and the visibility of your own ads inside this community? Well, that's where the level system comes in. It's a tiered structure that basically lets you decide what kind of impact you want to make. The whole thing starts with level 1. At this first tier, every single click your ad gets from someone in the community is worth 20 cents. It's a really straightforward way to get your foot in the door and start building up that advertising value. Now, if you move on up to level 2, the value for each click takes a huge jump. We're talking tenfold, all the way to $2. This tier is really built for people who are looking for more significant traffic value, maybe to test out different offers or really kickstart their growth. And then you have the top tier, level 3. This one offers the highest per-click value of all at $12. This level is designed to generate the absolute maximum advertising value from the community's engagement. It's all about getting the most visibility possible. This table really lays it all out nice and simple. As you can see, level 1 is your entry point for getting started. Level 2 is positioned for growth and for testing things out. And level 3, well, that's for maximum visibility. Now, you also see this income potential row. That's referring to the part of the value you generate that you can actually withdraw as cash, which also goes up with each level. But remember, the system's main focus is really the advertising value you get back. Okay, so that's a lot of moving parts. You might be wondering, how is all this activity tracked and managed without it getting super complicated? Well, the platform runs on a weekly cycle that's designed to be really simple and totally transparent. Let's just walk through this weekly flow. Step 1, you participate every day by viewing those ads. Then, in step 2, that activity generates value, and your account balance goes up. Now, step 3 is the really clever part. Any weekly platform dues get paid automatically right from the earnings you just made inside the system. That means the whole model is designed to fund itself from your participation. And finally, step 4, your net balance is updated, and that's the amount that becomes available for you to withdraw. So we've covered the big concept, the mechanics, and the value structure. Now let's get down to the bottom line. The big takeaway we should really focus on. Is this advertising model a good fit for you and what you're trying to achieve? So let's get really specific. Who is this platform actually built for? I mean, what kind of person is going to get the most value out of a community-based ecosystem like this one? From the looks of it, this platform is really designed with 4 key groups in mind. First, you've got entrepreneurs who are maybe testing out a new product. Then there are affiliate marketers who need that consistent, engaged traffic. Third, you have business owners who want to build brand awareness in a totally new way. And finally, you have creators who are looking to grow their own audience by tapping into an existing active community. You know, the core philosophy here really seems to be about being upfront and transparent. The whole system is laid out pretty clearly so that anyone who's interested can see all the mechanics and decide for themselves if this community-powered, self-sustaining model actually lines up with their advertising goals. So, all this leaves us with one final and I think really important question to think about. In a digital world that's so dominated by these giant tech platforms, where we basically just rent our audiences from them, what's the real value of a model where users come together to build an audience together? It's a pretty compelling alternative, and it's definitely something worth thinking about.